Hey Gordo, let's go to 438.100 simplex so that if we get separated we can find each other, okay?
Okay, can we do it digital?
Oh, that's a great idea. Perfect. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this thing.
Okay.
And now live and direct from the Consumer Electronics Show 2012, Picture Perfect. For the ham radio emergency responder at the Consumer Electronics Show, Lucent has you covered. Likely you have a big radio room and you want to protect it with some good security. I'm a real fan of Dakota Alert because their security system works on MURS, multi-use radio system. Hi, Matt. How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you doing today?
Just fine. Now, can you tell us, you're about the only company that makes alarms that does MURS, huh?
We are the only one that specializes in MURS as an alert service for alarms, yes.
And your alarms go a lot further than the others, right?
Yes, they do. They will go up to several miles in range. Nobody else can do that.
Not at all, 7 miles. And let's take a look at this little handheld. And the handheld can be used as part of the alarm as a monitor?
Yeah, it can be a monitor, and it can also be a transceiver where you can talk between the two radios.
On MURS, multi-use radio service with Dakota Alert. And it's Wayne Wilson, WR5S, at the GRE Alinco booth. Wayne, you've been in ham radio and scanners for a pretty long time.
Well, since 1965.
Wow.
That was my first novice ticket when I was in high school.
That is terrific. Well, Wayne, what have we got new in the GRE booth here at CES 12?
Well, two very new things. The first is we have new firmware for our PSR 800, our top-of-the-line scanner. And then we also have, we'll show you in a minute, a new mobile version of this scanner also.
All right.
Okay, so what I want to show you is our new feature is called Set Location in the firmware. And when you select it, you can select your location by city, county, or now by zip code. So if you select by zip code, you simply go in, enter the zip code, and hit select, and it will just store everything for you in a matter of a few minutes. So the new mobile unit is the PSR 900, and it has a magnetic detachable front panel. So it's very easy to mount in your car, and it just uses a RJ45 type cable to connect to the main unit. It's identical in feature set to the PSR 800. Has a 2 gig memory card built in with the entire US and Canada database on it. So all you need to know is your county or your zip code or where you are and what services you want to monitor. It doesn't mean that you have to be a scanner expert anymore. Now anybody can buy and use a scanner.
And finally, 222 and 900 megahertz. Where did you ever get that idea, Wayne?
Well, no one makes a commercial 900 megahertz radio now. So we thought that if we came out with a 902 radio and then combined it with another fast-growing band, 220, we might have another really popular radio. And if you have already our G7 radio, the one here on the right, that's a 3-band radio plus this one. You end up with all 5 most important, you don't have 6 meters, but you have all 5 really important VHF, UHF bands in 2 radios at one time.
Wow, only a Linko could do that. So Wayne, when will this rig be available?
Oh, it's available now. It's just shipped to dealers. So our first few sales and comments, very positive comments on the internet, are already out there.
A digital microscope from Dinolight. Now, Joseph, these have to be like, what, $1,000 or so?
Actually, they start at about $100 a piece.
Really? Wow. And I bet they're great for those ham radio operators that work on small integrated circuits, huh?
They're great for anything you would use a regular microscope for. They magnify up to about 200 times for most models. We have some going up to 500 times. They go up to about 5 megapixel resolution.
And are they hard to interface with a laptop?
Very simple to use. It's a USB connection, plugs right into your computer, comes with a software on a CD. Software, as you see here, displays a live image on the screen, and from that we can take pictures, take videos, record time-lapse video. We can do annotations and drawings over the picture, and some of them can even do measurements on the picture.
Wow, that is terrific. So George, next time you need a hand on the soldering, here you go. We'll take a close-in look.
Great. Thank you very much.
Lots of smart home controllers. Let's hope they're nice and quiet on the HF frequencies. Well, this is pretty neat. It keeps electronics high and dry if they should get wet. Now tell me, is that a coating that goes on there, Danny?
Exactly, you got it. Liquipel is a nano coating that's applied in a specialized piece of machinery that actually treats the inside and external of the device to keep it from getting water damaged.
Now, is this something that a person can purchase and then do themselves, or how do they get their radio or their cell phone coated?
Sure, actually we do it in a specialized piece of machinery. Our engineers have designed it so that we just push a simple button and the process begins, and it actually sucks our coating into the device as well as externally.
Wow. And as we see more and more marine electronics and ham radio electronics and cell phones being used in a wet environment, we're going to find that neat coatings like this from water-safe electronics will keep them dry. Wilson Electronics, a leader in personal communications. How long, Blake, has Wilson been around?
Wilson's been around for about 40 years in various capacities, making everything from satellite dishes, back when that was in vogue. They made CB antennas when CBs were popular. Now we make cell phone boosters.
And what do you have today to show us, the latest at CES 2012?
This is our DB Pro. It's kind of our premier in-home amplifier. It's a 62, 65 dB amplifier.
Wow.
It's strong enough to cover up to about 3,000 square foot in a home. It uses a bidirectional amplifier. It has an outside antenna, this amplifier, and then an inside antenna, so it basically works like a repeater system.
Oh, that's terrific. So if you have poor cell phone coverage, this will probably do the trick.
It sure will. And we also make devices for automobiles, for single users, for multiple users, all the way on up to industrial applications, large warehouses, even spaces as big as the one we're in today.
Terrific. Wilson Electronics. Davis, the name and weather instrumentation, and Michael, I always see you at the Dayton Hamvention, right?
Yes. Oh yes, one of my favorites.
Now, what's the fascination of radio operators with all your Davis wireless gear?
Well, first off, they love the weather, and this is the best out there. Very competitive, very accurate, updates very often, 2.5 seconds, wireless up to 1,000 feet.
Wow, now what range, 1,000 feet, what frequency do you get for that range?
Sure, we're using a spread spectrum radio, so we're between 902 and 928 megahertz.
So no more problems at 446.
Not at all, not at all. No issues there at all for you.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for being here at the Consumer Electronics Show. Any words of wisdom about the weather?
Love it. Love the weather.
Midland, big in personal electronics, including the very popular FRS, GMRS. And Bob, what do we have here?
Yeah, we have a GXT 1000. This is our most popular unit here. This thing has all the whistles and bells to it, such as security codes, we call them, and that is just not a carrier squelch, so you don't hear everybody else. You can just hear your own family. So if you're at a shopping center or at an amusement park, something like that, you can kind of have a private conversation.
And this is both an FRS radio as well as a GMRS, but if they don't have the GMRS license, what channels can they use legally?
They can use channels 7 through 14 legally, and actually this, because of the FCC rule, will automatically lower you to a half a watt, which is the rule for that.
Excellent. Only Midland can come up with that. As a ham operator on UHF, I always like to check the range calculations of these little FRS radios. Little guys, 18 miles. Little bigger guy, 26 miles. Same size guy, no more power, maybe a different antenna, 30 miles. Oh, here we go, 36 miles. That's a pretty hefty unit, so I imagine that probably does have a little bit more power output. And, we've got some more 36 milers here. But I would maybe take it with a grain of salt as to your maximum range that may vary with the terrain. Go green with Wagon Tech and solar panels. Wow, this is totally portable, huh,
yes.
Ian?
It's very portable, and you can just lay it on the dashboard or anywhere outside flat under the sun, and you can charge it directly with the USB drives. Through the USBs, you can actually charge all your devices.
That is terrific. Now, Ian, what's new with solar panels?
Well, solar panels are getting bigger, and you get more wattage out of it. Like this one we have here is actually a 120 watt.
Wow.
With 260 watts, and you can actually fold them up, buckle them up, and take them. But once you unfold, all you have to do is clip on, and you're good to go.
And it looks like Wagon Tech has come up with a lot of new solar products, huh?
Yes, we just recently came out with a whole line of them, and we have something smaller for battery chargers, cell phone chargers, to car battery chargers, and also other products that we are carrying as well.
And here's my favorite. Now, Ian, it looks like you got the whole thing here, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah, pretty much. So here we have the solar cube, which combines the inverter, battery, and solar panels. So all you have to do is get it out of the case and open it up, and you're good to go just to charge them.
Wow. And how many watts is it when it's fully deployed?
It has 80 watts panel on top and a 1500 watt inverter underneath as well.
Wow. And you have a battery inside here as well?
Yes, there's a 55 amp hour battery inside that you can charge them with the solar panels or AC or DC.
Wow, hams, we got your field day special. Eton. I love Eton radios. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello, how are you?
I'm just fine. Jennifer, what's the relationship between Eton and Grundig?
Yes, Eton's been partners with Grundig for over 3 decades now. So we've been working really closely together to deliver the best radios and the best shortwave products, world band products really, so that you're able to listen to anything from around the world.
And speaking of world band, Jennifer, tell us about this great little shortwave receiver.
Yes, this is our new G2 reporter. What's wonderful about it is now you have the dual speakers built into the unit. It's really intended for an international person who's traveling the world. It's small, it's portable, it's light, and it also has the ability to have multi-language features. So whether you want to have the display in English, Spanish, French, we really wanted to cater it to an international client. I'm going to just turn it on right here, and you can get a chance to see the really clear display window. It allows you to listen to, again, AM, FM, and world band radio, so you can tune into anything from around the world. And it's a great favorite with our radio enthusiasts.
Oh, and speaking of AM, Leo Laporte would be very happy to see all of these great AM radios. Now, these can be powered just by a few cranks, huh? Your AM?
Absolutely. So as I move on, there's the FRX series, which is brand new this year. The leader of the pack, I would say, is the FRX3. You can see that it has our well-known hand turbine technology, so you can crank the unit up for power. We also have a great solar panel on top. You can also charge it via AC adapter using the micro USB or the USB there, and then you can also use traditional AAA batteries.
Wow. So, Leo, when we listen to your AM broadcast down at the beach, we won't miss a thing with an Eton radio. We all know the name Cobra when it comes to personal communications. Ramon, how many CB radios does Cobra make?
We make about 18 SKUs, anywhere from a portable radio to a top-of-the-line single sideband radio, which is a 148 GTL.
Wow. Now, the one we're looking at here, beyond just being a CB radio, it has a lot of safety features, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It incorporates NOAA weather information plus weather alert. One of the neat parts about this is that a lot of professional drivers spend time in their vehicle sleeping where they're done driving. And in the event of an inclement weather, the NOAA weather alert feature will turn the radio on automatically, even if it's in the off position, to alert drivers of inclement weather.
Wow, does that take a special antenna for the weather side, or do they use the CB antenna?
They use the CB antenna. It's a center-loaded antenna that picks up the weather anywhere in the country, and 60 miles into Canada, and 60 miles in the southern borders.
Wow, that is terrific. Now tell me about this cool display.
Well, we have in 2011 we decided to change the look of the traditional way the radio looks. We incorporated a very modern display where the driver can customize the color in 4 colors. They can have a choice from green, blue, red, or amber.
And can you do that choice right now on camera?
Absolutely. It's very easy to use. The center button is your menu button, and then you scroll down to color, display color. Very intuitive. You press the menu button, and it just asks you to turn the knob to select the color.
Only Cobra would come up with this great feature in CB radios. And normally we meet Cobra at the Miami Marine Boat Show, but here we are at Las Vegas. Hi, how are you doing, Bill?
Good, thanks for stopping by. It's a big show for us here today.
And a handheld that floats, huh?
Yeah, it's floating. We got it clearly indicated on the side there. It's nice and bright and orange, so when it goes in, you're able to figure out where it is and retrieve it as well.
That is terrific. Now, Cobra is big on handheld maritime mobile transceivers. How many products do you have in the marine radio line?
We have 5 handheld radios, everything from kind of the entry level up to the top of the line here.
Now, you also have a combination handheld, don't you?
Yeah, we do. It's a combination VHF and GMRS. It has a pretty simple band button that just switches you from VHF to the weather band and over to GMRS.
That is terrific. Cobra Marine, as well as personal communications, as well as you saw at CB Radio. The Consumer Electronics Show is not complete without Julian picking out his dream car and trying to figure out where he's going to mount the bug catcher HF antenna. We're here with Eric at Ford Motor Company, and of course the big question is, on the Ford electric vehicles, is there 12 volts so us radio guys can add our two-way radios?
Yeah, there's actually still a 12-volt battery. In fact, the 12-volt battery is still out into the engine compartment. There's actually multiple batteries in the vehicle. You have the lithium-ion battery, which is really the drive battery for the powertrain, but you still have a 12-volt battery that actually runs all the accessories. So, your radio that you have in the vehicle, that's still off the 12-volt. One of the great things about the way that the setup is on this vehicle, on the Focus Electric from Ford here, is that also as the 12-volt battery starts to deplete or as that starts to go down, the lithium-ion battery can actually take over and actually start charging this battery.
Wow, that's terrific. Now, is there an AM/FM radio in the vehicle?
Absolutely. In fact, not only just AM/FM, but still having with CD. In fact, it has a navigation system as standard. So it's one of the, really there's no options on this vehicle other than having the upgrade from a cloth seat to a leather seat. But yeah, full content, has all the sync, has all the MyFord Touch, has all the MyFord Mobile. So yes, fully contented, high technology vehicle.
Well, that's good news that we have an AM radio. That means probably low noise coming out of the electric motor. Eric, for radio operators, the big concern is, does the vehicle emit noise, or what happens when someone transmits?
Yeah, I mean, the testing regimen that we deploy at Ford Motor Company actually includes both kind of scenarios where, to the FCC and the bands and the radio bands that are actually there, we test the vehicle to those bands, making sure that really two things. One, that we don't interfere in those bands, while at the same time that those bands don't interfere with the function of the vehicle. So the testing that we do at Ford actually does test all of those scenarios.
Wow, so it looks like we're good to go with two-way radio in a Ford. You'll never get lost with Delorme, and now something new, huh, Jim?
Yes, this is the first of its kind affordable two-way text communicator. It'll give you your location anywhere in the world. It's an Iridium-based system. Works with Android, or when paired with our GPS, it'll give you communication anywhere in the globe.
Now, is it real expensive per month?
It is not. It starts at $9 and will go up to $50, and it really depends on how you want to use it. But minimum price is $9 a month.
Wow, so with Delorme, you're never lost. So where are you going to hold that handheld when you're mobile? Johan with ProClip USA has the answer.
Absolutely. What we're doing is we make very custom mounts for each independent vehicle. So every car has a different dashboard. We use the seams and crevices. We create mounts that snap into location, and then we have the custom holders for the two-way radios with charging built into it. You put the two together, you have the custom solution for your car and your device. You slide in your two-way radio and it charges instantly. It's tested, durable tested, weather tested, temperature tested, everything, and it stays perfectly on your dashboard.
C. Crane Radios and the legend Bob Crane. Hi, Bob. Look at all these great radio products, huh?
Well, this is a great fireside chat with Gordon, so thank you very much for coming here and doing this.
Well, you're more than welcome. You know, Leo Laporte is a big fan of AM radio. In fact, he's on 170 shows. Tell us a little bit about the new little Take to the Beach Gozo.
Okay, well, the Gozo, AM radio is still a fantastic media, and it's got to be one of the most popular things in the world today, but everybody's afraid to admit it sometimes. So the Gozo has tremendous audio, and we call it the big little radio.
That's for sure.
It sounds just like the old bread box radios of the 50s, and I guess I can turn it on. Hopefully you didn't recognize that song.
And the dial lights up. Now, when we had the big earthquake in San Diego, AM radio was king for getting emergency news out, and we tuned it in on this little guy.
That's right. Well, the EP is a new radio. It has a lighted dial. And it makes it easy for a person who doesn't want directions and just wants a high-performance radio. It's right up there with the best radios ever made, and it's very easy to use, and it's kind of fun.
And for you ham operators, it is VFO. It is not PLL, but a giant capacitor we're swinging in there, right?
That's correct.
Now, for the Wi-Fi industry, when we go to Quartzsite in another week, we'll be taking along your Wi-Fi stick.
That's right. The Wi-Fi stick will get your Wi-Fi signal about a mile away.
Wow.
Line of sight, and so it's a tremendous for weak signal conditions or camping or doing anything like that. Also, if you're on Windows 7, you can broadcast a mile, as you can actually become an access point. So you can do work on the internet, receive a weak signal, and broadcast all at the same time.
And everybody will be sucking signals off of my C. Crane antenna.
If you give them the password.
There you go. Well, Bob, thank you so much for all your dedication and your entire team here at the CES 2012 show, The Bob Crane.
Thank you very much for coming over, Gordon.
And stand by for more CES 2012.